Make sure your Whipple Superchargers get plenty of sleep and rest before you install them. Okay, come on, let's go. Let's go. Welcome back to part 2 of the 2016 Shelby GT350 Whipple install. In the last video, what I did was I upgraded the oil pump gears, and I got to a stopping point where I have to replace the motor mount brackets. So while the engine is still up off the mounts, I'm gonna go ahead and replace the brackets. I've opened up the Whipple kit and I found the brackets that come with the kit. So I'm gonna open these up and start installing them. Here's the oil pump gear that was in here. It wasn't broken, we just wanted to see what it takes to break one. And we dropped it from about 5-6 feet and it didn't shatter. So we kind of had to use some force and just threw it against the floor, and that happened. So usually they break into more pieces, but that's what we got here. So you can see that material is not that strong. So all right, let's continue. Here are the brackets, one for each side. There's a passenger and the driver side. Here's the hardware. There's a few spacers I can see there. We've got some instructions. Looks pretty simple. I already have the engine lifted, the car is on the lift, so it should be pretty easy. These instructions give you two options. If you want to use their bolt, you got to flatten that wire terminal or cut those gears off, or you could shorten the OEM bolt and use the original bolt and just put it back in its place. So I think I'm just gonna go with this option. I don't want to cut any bolts. Really doesn't matter as long as the ground is good at the end of the install. It doesn't look like I have to remove anything extra. All I need to do is just remove the bolts off the original brackets and they should come right out. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so I got both engine mount brackets on. This is the passenger side and there's the driver side. Driver's side was easy, just remove and put the new one on, but this passenger side was a little bit of a challenge. I mean, it was just hard to get to the bolt in the very front. The starter had to be removed, but you know, it's back on there, so I'm gonna lower the car and continue. Back underneath the hood here, I'm gonna go ahead and put the valve covers back on. The engine is sitting on the mounts now and it's bolted down. You can tell how far it went down. I mean, I don't know if you can in the video, but the engine went down pretty far, which is good. Now I'm gonna have all kinds of clearance up here. So I'm gonna put the valve covers back on, put a little bit of silicone here where the front cover meets the head and both sides, just in case. I don't know if it's required, but it won't hurt to have it. So let's keep going. So this is a good stopping point for the day. I've got the valve covers on. I put everything back that I think needs to be back, and it won't be removed anymore for the Whipple install. So for right now, I'm going to open up this the rest of this kit and lay everything out just so it's ready to go for installation. Got the kit all opened up and laid out somewhat. Opening these kits never gets old. I mean, everything is packaged so awesome. Like, everything's in its place, everything's labeled, every bag, everything. So we got new injectors here, pulley, big throttle body. Everything is here. There's the radiator. Got the filter over here. And the main thing is the supercharger itself. It's a monster. Gen 5 Whipple Supercharger. I went with black because my car is black and black is the quickest one to get. If you choose any other color, it may take a little bit longer. I'm okay with black, it matches my car. It doesn't really matter. Nobody looks under the hood anyways. But if I wanted to change color in the future, I'm sure I could just powder coat it to a different color or something. I think like light green would be cool. Maybe, but black is fine for now. Back at the shop this morning. I've got a couple hours to work on this thing today. I've got the manual open right here. It's been exactly a year since I installed a GT350 kit. Last year I installed one at Whipple Superchargers in Fresno, California. But, you know, it's been a while, so I'm gonna follow the manual. The good news is most of our stuff is already taken apart. Well, I think all of it's taken apart. So we can skip probably like 20 pages. That's gonna help out quite a bit. Yeah, like there. So let's get this install going. So I'm gonna go ahead and install the new spark plugs that are supplied with the kit. Went ahead and checked the gaps. They're supposed to be 28 and all 8 of them are exactly at 28. So I'm going to go ahead and install them and continue from there. got some things done under the hood, a couple hoses, a couple fittings. More importantly, the tensioners are both installed. All the pulleys are installed, except the water pump one. That's gonna be original one. So right now it's time to pop the cap off the supercharger itself and then start assembling it. It is time to put this blower onto the engine. I have it assembled to where I just remove this plate here that I installed earlier and throw it in, torque it down, and continue with this install. So I've got the radiator installed, coolant pump, all the lines connected. Got the airbox housing installed, the bottom half. I've got all the coolant lines connected here. I've got the fuel, or not fuel, coolant fill here for the supercharger. Everything on this side's connected. Now what I have to do is put the throttle body on, secure this line better, and put the airbox on. And I believe I can start filling the coolant. Well, I gotta assemble everything back in that area over there, but I can fill the coolant and start bleeding it, and then flash it with the new tune and try to start it. Let's do it. get this coolant filled, the main coolant, the supercharger coolant, oil. Can't forget to put oil in there. I replaced the filter, oil filter as well. You gotta make sure that it's tight, because on these engines they vibrate so much that those filters get loose. And this is the 2016 Voodoo engine, so it's got the old style filter, like not a cartridge, but the old style, like screw-on filter. Adam LZ's GT350 caught fire on the track. That happened to him twice. First time he didn't catch fire. The second time his car burned down almost to the ground, but he saved it. So I'm gonna check the filter, fill the oil, fill the coolant, and we should be able to program the tune in here and do a first start. Hopefully everything goes well. Remember, this is my first time doing timing on the 5.2 Voodoo engine. First time myself. I've watched someone do it before, but this is my first time 100% myself. Alright, it's time to program this thing. Got the tune loaded up. Plug this into the OBD2 connector. Ignition on. Let's send it. Send it. Okay. So the module's been reprogrammed. Now I believe I have to put the pedal to the floor and crank it like 5-6 times just so it primes the oil, because remember I did take the front cover off and replace the oil pump gear, so everything is dry at the moment. So I'm gonna try to do that and hopefully that goes well. Let's do it. One. I'll do this a couple times and then start it up. Alright. Oil pump gear upgrade. Gen 5 Whipple Supercharger installed. First start. Fingers crossed. Let's do it. Okay, it runs. It's a good sign. So it's smoking a little bit. Big deal. Coolant? Yeah, I think I spilled some coolant right on the header earlier, so. And it runs. Doesn't rattle. I'm guessing the timing's right. Whipple Supercharger install complete. No leaks. Everything is good. Coolant is good. This coolant is not good. Why is this coolant not good? Smoky. I'll have to top that off. Everything checks out. Engine sounds awesome. Bumper's back on. Everything's secured. Needs a wash and some decals. I'm gonna put the Whipple Supercharger decals over there. Those are my favorite ones. They're like laser cut and stuff. So I'm gonna put those on. I've had this sticker on there for like 10 months. Poser. Had that on for like 10 months. Poser. But man, this thing needs to be washed and waxed probably and all kinds of stuff. I only washed this thing like 3 or 4 times since I owned it. But man, this thing looks good. Black car, black supercharger. Would be cool to have a, you know, like a lime green, but if you get lime green, you probably would have to paint the calipers lime green or something just to make it look better, but everything looks good. Belt is tight. All the hoses are secured. So, alright. That is it for this video. I'm gonna go test drive it and have some fun. Later. So this car is insane. Like, you know this car is fast when you do a couple pulls and your legs are shaking because it scares you. And I haven't even gave it all it's got. I don't know how this thing is street legal. Maybe it's not. Maybe people just don't know. But it's crazy.